Hey everybody, what's going on? George the Disney Italiano coming to you with another live back in my studio, as I like to call home. But yeah, I just thought I'd jump on, do a live, talk to you guys, chill out, all that good jazz. But yeah, so let's see. We got some people already in the chat. Let's see. Of course, we have my babe, Abby, joining the chat. Thank you so much, babe, for joining in. And we got Dragon Blood in the house. Time to see Elio today. Hype. So glad you're able to see Elio. I got to see it yesterday, and I'm going to see it again tonight. And I'm not going to give too much on it. Well, one, I don't want to give away spoilers, and two, I have a out of theater review that's going to be released probably either tonight or tomorrow morning, and it's going to be a double because since we seen Elio last night and then we're going tonight, you'll get a double out of theater review on the same movie but in one video. So, but glad you're able to see it. We also got Jacob Weller in the house. Let's see. We got Remy D. Let's see. We got Mademoiselle. And of course, we have Sam Chat. And we have also the one and only, the Giant Peter Show. Welcome in, everyone. And yeah, so I thought before I get to your questions, comments, concerns, opinions, all that good jazz, I want to share my screen here really quick because I just wanted to bring this up because I know we talked about this several times. This is courtesy of blogmickey.com. Breaking: Disney Cruise Line reduces required deposit and cancellation fees effective immediately. And I think this is quite a game changer just within the cruise line industry for Disney. I think what they're really trying to do is trying to get a lot of bookings filled up, and not saying that Disney Cruise Line isn't popular. The ships are always, almost filled to capacity every time that I've gone on. But I think one of the major issues is that it takes a while for people to even be able to put in the the down payment, the deposit, because sometimes for the bigger cruises, it's a hefty it's a hefty deposit. There was one cruise that I was looking at in particular, and the deposit was like $1,600. And after I saw this article, I jumped on the website just to see if it had changed or if it was effective. The deposit came down to $800. So basically it was cut in half. So I say kudos to Disney, kudos to Disney Cruise Line for making that choice. And I think honestly, with a lot of in today's times with people with, the finances, but they want to go on vacation, and Disney's trying to entice people to go on more of the cruise adventures. I think that's the way to go. Again, I just wanted to bring that up there because I thought it was quite interesting. But yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys that. But anyway, let's get into the chat. Let's see. So Dragon Blood says, also getting my Nintendo Switch 2 really soon, and got my Pro Controller, the new Mario Kart, and a screen protector. Yeah, everyone, this is the hype that, people are going for the Nintendo Switch 2. Again, I'm not really a gamer anymore, so it's really not my kind of, thing. So, but I mean, for everyone who does play it, all cool beans. Let's see. Jacob Weller, let's see. If you were trapped in a horror movie, what would your ending be? Obviously to stay alive. Yeah, just for me to be able to escape whatever, the clutches of whatever the horror entails. I mean, obviously I did get a happy ending from my horror story, which was about 10 years of it. So there's your ex-wife joke for the live. Let's see. Jacob Weller also continues. Also, if you were in a Viking world, what would your Viking name be? If I was a Viking in a Viking world, what would my name be? I don't know. I don't know. Like, even though, like, I would probably just still go the Italiano, even though it's not Norwegian. Just because, you know, the Italiano, that became a name, like, that's like my alter ego now. So I would just still stick with the Italiano, even though it's like off brand. Let's see. Yeah, see, even Giant Pierce said the return of Italiano. Let's see. Giant Peter show. Did you see the images of the crane behind Avengers Campus? Yes, I've seen photos of it. I didn't get to see it in person, but yeah, I mean, they're definitely turbocharging all these projects. I mean, on all cylinders. I mean, they're closing Tropical Americas. I'm sorry. They're closing not Tropical Americas. They're closing the Boneyard for Tropical Americas sooner than later. I did a little video on Citrus Corner that the Boneyard has been moved up to closing on September 1st. And so that'll be, you know, and the next phase to, you know, get Tropical Americas up and running. Obviously, Muppets is closed. Monsters, Inc. is going to be coming up soon. The Cars area. Villains, also with Villains too. I should have kept the page up, but they said that's okay. I think I saved the quote here. Give me one sec. Okay. Yeah. So it was Disney. Walt Disney World has officially released a new synopsis for Villains Land coming to Magic Kingdom. And this is what they were saying. They said, prepare for spellbinding thrills and wickedly entertaining experiences at Walt Disney World unveils Villains Land at Magic Kingdom Park, bringing iconic Disney villains to life like never before. This bold new park expansion will feature 2 major attractions, dining and shopping on an incredibly twisted grand scale. Now, I know that doesn't seem like, you know, it's a lot, you know, that they were like mentioning, but because we already were confirmed that we were going to get 2 attractions. One was going to be a roller coaster. One was going to be an immersive dark ride. But there are certain wording that they put in this, and I thought it was kind of interesting. Like, prepare for spellbinding thrills and wickedly entertaining experiences. So for me, obviously with the roller coaster and the dark ride, I wonder if it's not just like a typical dark ride. You know, like it's not just going to be like a slow pace kind of thing, but like they're going to put in a little bit of extra thrill to it, but not like too thrilling. But and then it says wickedly entertaining experiences. So I wonder if they're going to have any kind of entertainment that's added in there. And maybe that's, again, why they were kind of testing the waters for Villains Unfairly Ever After, because even though I don't really think too highly of the show, it's just okay. But it is getting the villains out there. And I do hope that they kind of, you know, are using this as a beta tester to kind of fix and work out the kinks and the bugs before they're ready for prime time for Villains Land. So I hope that's the case. Let's see. Remy D says, wait, isn't the deposit just $200? No, that's only for the like Walt Disney World. So if you're booking like a hotel room or a vacation package, you just have to put $200 down for the deposit. The cruise is a specific percentage of your full total. So if you, as I said, like it was almost like $8,400 for the whole cruise, and the deposit was $1,600. So now it seems like that they're cutting it down by 50%, which again, I'm glad that they are, because it is astronomical. But I do, in a sense, I wish it was like just a $200 deposit. I think that would be really cool. But I think with the cruise line, it's not even just Disney Cruise, it's just the cruise line industry. I think they have to have a certain amount to lock in, because it's not just the cruise ship. They have to go through all of the legalities of like where the ship is going and, you know, how many people getting on, and they have to report that. And I think there's just a lot more to it. But let's see. Remy D continues. What are your thoughts on Icon of the Seas? Would you see yourself checking these Royal Caribbean mega ships? So I've been watching some YouTube videos lately on all these different cruise liners, and I have seen a lot of these mega ships. And when they say mega ships, they really are like, they're big. Some of the features, like I can see myself experiencing, but again, like if I'm going to still spend all my time and effort, I'd rather just do a Disney cruise. That's just my personal preference. I know variety is the spice of life, but I think it's because since cruising is basically, it's expensive, it's an investment, you know. So if you're going to put all your time and effort and money into something, you want to do what you're happy with, what you're comfortable with. And for me, it is Disney Cruise Line. Now again, if someone was treating me and they were forking out the bill, I'll definitely be there, you know. But if I'm going to be paying for it, I'd rather put my money out for Disney Cruise Line. That's, you know, that's just me. Giant Peter Show. Most Vikings already have the blank in their name. Yours would simply just be George the Italiano. Yeah, that's basically it. Yep. That is it. Let's see. Sam Chat. Do you think we'll see a clip of the Walt Disney animatronic before it opens? In my opinion, probably not, but you never know. Yeah, see, here's the thing. I've been having issues lately with a lot of these, like, not even just with Disney, but even like with Universal too. Now, again, I'm going to sound like a hypocrite because if I got invited to these things, sure, I'd go and report on it and share it out to the world. But being that I'm not there right now and I'm not on any media list or media events, again, right now, you never know, that if Disney is giving out or Universal a specific date for something, that's when I expect everybody to experience it, even media. If you want to have a private show like early on in the morning, then fine. But if you're going to uncover and unmask like this, something as grand and great as a Walt Disney audio animatronic, I would expect it to be released on the day that they promised to release it. I don't want to see it a week and a half early where they're kind of spoiling it for us. Like, I want to see it and get the reaction right there live with everybody else. Now, again, I know you have a different mindset when you get invited to media. So again, my thought process would probably change on that. But right now it still stands that I just wish that they would just release things on the days that they say they're going to release them. Jacob Weller says, do you think you'll have a Disney or Universal wedding? So glad you actually asked that. Jacob, we are going to have, now originally Abby and I were going to have a Disney fairy tale wedding. But for the amount of guests that we have coming and the price tag that Disney has, it would cost us about $38,000 just to feed our guests. That's not counting the ceremony. That's not counting the reception. That's not counting the decorations. That's not counting the, you know, hair, makeup, everything. And that's an also other thing too, that Disney has to okay everything. You can't bring, like, if you want to have someone specifically do your hair or makeup for the bride or the bridesmaids and, or, you know, whatever, you have to go through Disney. And if you don't, Disney has to okay it. And I think the reason why Disney does this is because they'd be losing money, but I could see why the bride and the groom would go that route, because Disney makes it so expensive and it's crazy. So we decided to opt out on the Disney fairy tale wedding, but we are going to have a Disney themed wedding, and we're going to be designing it to how we want it, how we like it, and it would be 5 times cheaper. Now, again, we're not going like super cheap. Obviously, it'll be a decent amount, you know, but it's not going to be astronomical. So to answer your question, yes, we are going to have a Disney themed wedding. Let's see. We got Angel Mama. Hi, George. We miss the nighttime parade here in Florida. Do you know if they'll be coming back with one anytime soon? Yes, they will. They will be coming back with Starlight, and it should be actually debuting pretty soon. I think that they're aiming for almost, I think, like a late summer. So probably I would say August, I don't even think they would go September. I think honestly they would probably be sometime in August because it's pretty much, ready to go. They're already starting to market it like through the Disney promotional commercials and all that. So yes, to answer your question, a nighttime parade will be coming back to Magic Kingdom, and it's going to be called Starlight. And just out of curiosity, it says Angel Mama. I don't know. I'm just going to just ask, but are you my cousin? I'm just asking because I'm not sure because my cousin's name is Angel, so I'm not 100% sure. If not, I do apologize, but I just wanted to ask. Let's see, Remy D. My rebuttal to those who say that cars will kill the theming of Frontierland. Walt would have never allowed this. Walt himself added Matterhorn, which is neither fantasy nor Tomorrowland themed. Yes, the thing with Walt is he was about history, he was about nostalgia, he was about originality. But he also was a progressive. He always had one foot in the past, but also had one foot in the future, as Marty Sklar always had said. So in the times he, thought it would be a great idea, you have the Old West, American Frontier, Adventureland, Tomorrowland. Look even at Tomorrowland. At the time in the concept of what Tomorrowland was going to be, you can't always keep on updating Tomorrowland because there's always something to move along in the future. And that's why I kind of hope that they go out of that route. I feel like with Frontierland, it's like there's only so much that you can do, like with the old kind of Frontier, but you could still pay tribute to it by creating a whole storyline. And what would actually help is using a popular IP that not only the diehard Disney fans could enjoy, but also just the regular families. And I get it, people having issues with the removal of the Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island. I get it. I really do. But I think also too that, Disney is trying to fix the problem by still adding more nature, organic waterways and everything to the land. So, hopefully that'll I think it's going to look great, and as Slimer said in part of the concept art, there is a part that pays tribute to Nature's Wonderland from Disneyland with the rotating boulders. So that looks really cool. So we got Lene Ward in the house. Howdy back to you, Lene. We also have Dead Short Overkill. Welcome in. We got Coco Bear. Let's see. Does the Disney cruise have a casino inside? I've never been on a Disney cruise, so I don't know what to expect. Well, first off, welcome in, Coco Bear. I'm so glad you're able to join. And to answer your question, no, they do not have a casino. There are a lot of features that you would expect, for them to have on a cruise. But Disney's a little bit different. They don't have a casino. They don't have a library. But they fill in those gaps with a lot of entertainment. And I tell you, I always say this to everyone. I feel like once you get on your first Disney cruise ship, you'll get bit by the Disney cruise bug. You really will. There's something there for everyone. No, you do not have to have kids. You don't have to take kids. You can have a family, but you don't have to take them. You can go, I know this kind of sounds weird, but you can kind of go solo. You can go as a couple. Yes, there are kids, among the ship, but it would be even if you were to go into theme parks, that you see kids, but you're probably thinking, well, but on a cruise ship, you're very limited in space. But here's the thing. The ship is still so big that there are a lot of spots that kids don't go to. For instance, there's a lot of adult section areas. There's an adult pool, adult jacuzzi. They got bars, they got nightclubs. And with the kids, they're so preoccupied with the kids areas. They have the Oceaneers Lab, the Oceaneers Club. There, for if you have like babies and toddlers or infants, they have the It's a Small World nursery. So the kids are occupied. A lot of the times, they don't even want to spend time with the parents. Obviously, when I took my son on, he didn't want to deal with us at all. He was like, he came to dinner, he ate, and he was like, okay, can I go back to the kids club? So a lot of people fear that that's, like an issue. But I'm telling you, for someone that's been on 10 Disney cruises, for which now I'm a platinum, I'm a platinum member. I can tell you on a stack of Bibles, you will enjoy yourself immensely. But Coco Bear, are you thinking of doing a Disney cruise, or do you have one booked? I do know, there's so much going to go on with the Disney Cruise Line. The Disney Treasure just recently opened, soon to be the Disney Destiny in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The Disney Adventure is going to be opening in Singapore, and Japan they're already building the ship for Japan, and it's already possible that they are going to add on a second one to that. And then they got 4 more ships after that. And who's even to say if Abu Dhabi is going to want to jump on that ship, no pun intended, to add a cruise ship for them. So definitely a lot on the horizon for Disney Cruise Line. But I'm looking forward to, in the future, of going on the Disney Treasure, because they also have the Haunted Mansion bar, which pays tribute to Raleigh Crump's ghost fish tank, that he created that specifically for the Haunted Mansion, but it never got into the mansion. But I'm so glad that they were able to pay tribute and put it on the Disney Treasure. So it absolutely looks amazing. Giant Peter show. I want to get on a media list. Yeah, and here's the thing, I know there's pros and cons with that, because there's only so much that you can say and do, and you have to kind of withhold yourself to a certain standard. But I still think with a good balance, you could still be yourself and still have a personality. And I've heard from several other people who are on the media that Disney is looking for people to be open with them, but still very respectful and everything, and just kind of tell the truth, like it is, of what you can say and what you can't say. Let's see, we got Candid Camper in the house. Welcome in, Candid. I'm going to have to get you on one of these times. I'm reaching out to people, to bring them on for a specific show, depending on whatever you want to talk about. I ended up bringing on Sean, Ranking the Mouse. So I definitely would want to get you on whatever topic you want to discuss. Would love to have you on. And Candy Camper, can't wait for the wedding. Yes, absolutely. And Candid is going to be part of the wedding party. What Abby and I did was, for me, I just can't have one best man, because everyone that I'm really close with and do a lot of collaborations with, and basically became family, from, joining Orange Grove 55 and then now starting my own channel and everything. That for me to just say, okay, one is my one best man, and then the rest are all, which I get it, it's traditional, but for me, it's my wedding. I could do whatever the hell I want. So for me, in my eyes, they're all best men. So Candid is one of my best men that's going to be in the wedding. Let's see. Ken also says, I can't wait to give you guys your wedding gift. Oh, that should be interesting. Awesome. Let's see. Remy D says, will it be live streamed? You know what, Remy D? I was toying around with the thought of having it live stream. I don't know the whole logistics side of it, because I'm going to have to get someone that would be able to be basically behind the camera to do that. I don't know if I would like to at least get the ceremony, but also I'm going to try to get the reception too. So there is a possibility. I don't want to make a full promise, but I'm going to try my damnedest to get it live streamed. I really would love that. Let's see. Giant Peter Show. I know people that had proposals at Disneyland. Yeah, I was supposed to be one of them. I was supposed to propose to Abby at Disneyland. I had this whole idea fleshed out in my mind, and unfortunately, it just didn't work out that way. Because I would have still had to set up a whole lot of things, and yeah. So I just ended up proposing the day after New Year's in our bedroom. I tested the ring up, because here's the thing, I'm a stickler for detail, and I want everything to try to be as perfect as possible. And I blindly got Abby's ring, and I tried to get the size, but I didn't want to put the ring on her and it would fall off. So I ended up covering her face with a pillow, trying on the ring so she wouldn't see it, but it fit perfectly. And actually, I was just testing it. But after seeing the ring on her finger, me taking it off, it just didn't feel right. It looked so perfect on her. So I ended up putting it back in the box. She removed the pillow from her face, and then I had the ring open and I proposed. And I put the ring back on her finger. So I know, not as elegant and romantic as I wanted it to be, but you know what? It was fun, it was quirky, and that's just our relationship. So it fell right into that category. Candy Camper says, "Don't forget to show George some love. Hit that thumbs up button." Thank you so much, Candid. I greatly appreciate it, brother. Let's see. I'm pretty sure the wedding will be live streamed. Yeah, I'm pretty much like gearing towards. I think it's just getting everything together for it, and I'm probably going to have to get someone who is like professional in that would like be willing to do that. So so I could definitely say I'm leaning more towards yes than no, but you never know. So that's why I didn't make the promise. Candy Camper says, George, you are Italian. Everyone is your cousin. That is true. That is very true. I mean, I come from a big Italian family, so everybody knows everybody. So let's see. Okay. Yep. So yes, it's me, your cousin. Should have mentioned that. Okay. So glad. Thanks, Angel, for joining the live and your question. That was a good one. But yes, you guys will be getting Starlight soon. I'm very excited to see that parade, just because, as you said, it's been a while since Magic Kingdom had a night parade. It's actually been a while since any of the parks had a nighttime parade. We just got Paint the Night back over here at Disneyland. So, yeah, but I'm really excited for Starlight. Absolutely. Let's see. We have Lene Ward. There's a Disneyland Resort confidential permit from June 10th in that Tomorrowland Theater. Any idea what it might be? I don't know for sure, Lene, but you know what? I want to bring something up. If you guys can actually hold on really quick. I should have just kept it up, but I want to bring this up. I want to see if I could find it. I'm going to bring up the photo from that Disney just released for the Disneyland Forward with the Eastern Gateway that was along with the Coco and the Avatar. I'm gonna share my screen again because I want to bring this up. Give me 1 second. Okay, so let me see if I can. I don't know if I can get this bigger. Okay, so if you look at over in the Tomorrowland area, so you see there's my cursor. So there's Space Mountain, and then you see the Matterhorn Mountain. Now, obviously, all these building areas are part of Tomorrowland because you can kind of see like the purple that's kind of interwoven into the in through the land. Now, what's interesting about this, now again, you got to take these concept arts with grain of salt. You can't actually, take it verbatim. But what's funny is that they don't have any of the structures of Tomorrowland that are present there right now. You don't see the old people mover track. You don't see any like of the the kind of the schematic stuff that make Frontierland. So it does make me wonder if Disney is kind of hinting at us that eventually changes will be made significantly to Tomorrowland. And I think from attending D23, they incorporated Tomorrowland into the beginning montage. but I've heard that they actually removed that from last minute, and they didn't add it back in. So I'm wondering if they're going to save that for the second half of the 10 years. It'll give them more time to add stuff in or make changes, because again, if you make something right away, then you have nothing, then you're kind of stuck with it. This gives them time. And for instance, it's just like the movie Elio. I'm not going to give too much on that, just because I'm going to save that for when I release my out of theater reaction. But I will say Elio could go really well into Tomorrowland, as would, obviously, so would WALL-E. Disney is already putting the Fantastic Four into Disneyland's Tomorrowland. So I'm wondering with this picture, because it only specifically shows Matterhorn and Space Mountain, and then of course the monorail, but nothing else is significantly shown within Tomorrowland. And again, I'm not saying that it's, that's, what it is. As I said, you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt, but it does make me wonder. But now that you say that, Lene, that there's a confidential permit from June 10th for the Tomorrowland Theater, that wouldn't surprise me. That would not surprise me one bit. Let's see. Sam Chat, I'm excited for Cars at Magic Kingdom. That park was so busy when I went a few months ago. It needs at least 5 or 10 more high capacity rides, in my opinion. Yeah, Cars Land over here at DCA is super popular. Radiator Springs Racers, I mean, you can never go a regular day with it being less than 65 minutes. If it's anything less than 65 minutes, it's because it was down and they brought it back online, and then it'll eventually hit up to 65 again, minimum. So yeah, I could definitely see Cars, being very popular in its own right at Magic Kingdom. And it's a different kind of themed to Cars. So it'll give its own identity. Absolutely love that. Let's see. Remy D, they have a rent-a-kid service on board. Rent-a-kid. That's interesting. And Abby says, love the Disney cruise. She really did. She actually preferred it more than the Walt Disney World. And it's not that she didn't love Walt Disney World, but Abby's not used to the Florida weather of how it gets extremely hot, and then it thunderstorms, and then it gets extremely hot again. And then just the scope of the parks, like even Universal Orlando as a resort, so much bigger than Universal Studios Hollywood. And then of course, Walt Disney World being like 50 times bigger than Disneyland Resort. So when a person's not used to that, it takes some time to try to get adjusted. But the Disney cruise, she absolutely loved it, which was kind of funny. I'll wait for her to tell like the full story, because it's more funny if she was here. But there's a funny story about the cruise that I ended up finding out after the fact we were on the ship, but we'll save that for when she's here. And we have my Aunt Judy here. Hi, my handsome nephew. Thank you so much, Aunt Judy. Appreciate it. Miss and love you. And so glad I got my cousin Angel here, my Aunt Judy. So it's a family thing. Let's see. And then Candid says, anytime, George, that. For him being in the wedding. Absolutely. And we got Dead Short Overkill. I haven't been on a Disney cruise before, but is it like, let me see. I'm sorry. I haven't been on a Disney cruise before. What is it like, George? What is that? I have no idea what to do about it. Okay. So, for the Disney cruise line, I don't know if you've ever been on a cruise before in general. But as I said, you still take the same, documentation and everything, you go through, when you come off the ship, like when you're done with your cruise, customs and everything. But it's basically taking the magic of Disney and basically putting it out at sea. And sometimes it's a little bit better because the signature service that you get on the ship, you don't have to pay for concierge, to be honest with you. If you want concierge, you get extra little perks, but they treat every guest on board as if you are in concierge, whether you're from just a regular indoor stateroom, whether you have a deluxe family room with a veranda, what have you. They treat everybody the same. Your dining staff follows you with every restaurant. They get to know you, you get to know them, you build a rapport with them, and then actually you miss them. Like when you're ready to deboard the ship and go back home to reality, it's like they become part of your family because you grow a friendship with them. And I think that's really cool. And I've always developed that with my dining staff. Every Disney cruise that I've taken. Also, with Disney Cruise Line, they have their own private islands. If you're doing the Bahama cruise or the Caribbean cruise, Castaway Key and the new Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. I still prefer Castaway Key over Lighthouse Point, but it's still beautiful. I think just for me, I just have to get used to the setup because they have like these boardwalks that they're not interconnected. So there's not a whole lot of signage to know like where to go for what. So you have to go on this boardwalk to get to the restrooms, this boardwalk to get to the food. It's like, it's kind of confusing, but nonetheless, the beaches out there are gorgeous. The water is like crystal blue. Actually even a little bit more blue than Castaway Key, but the setup of the islands, I prefer Castaway Key for sure. Once you pay for everything other than like specialty, like desserts or alcohol, everything else is pretty much bought and paid for. The entertainment, the movies, the Broadway shows, the food. You could basically go up to the upper deck and get a soft serve ice cream anytime you want to. You make it yourself, and it's like literally all that you can have. Literally, you can get two at once if you want. I absolutely love it. And when Abby found that out, she was like head over heels for that she can just go up and get a soft serve ice cream anytime she wanted to. And Coco Bear, does the Disney cruise have laundry service on the cruise? Yes, they do. Now, speaking of that also, now that is a little bit of an extra cost depending on how much laundry you have, if you want to have it pressed or dry cleaned. They have like a little card that you fill out how many pieces of laundry they have like a laundry sack that the housekeeping will come in and take that care of that for you. That is up to you if you want to do that. But for like the longer cruises, I would probably say to consider it, just because like if you're doing a 14-night cruise or even a 12-night cruise, you get all your clothes and they're just kind of sitting and kind of getting a little bit of funk there, so but they do, if you want to do the laundry, you definitely can do that. We got Kevin Davis in the house. Let's see. I finally saw Snow White on Disney Plus. It didn't deserve all the hate at all. It's just an okay film. Absolutely. I completely agree with you. I didn't hate the film, but I didn't absolutely love it. I don't think that it deserved the scrutiny that it got. And the reason why it did so well on Disney Plus is because I feel like that people, because it was getting the scrutiny, people didn't want to spend the money to go into theaters to see it. So they're like, we're already paying for the subscription. Let's just wait for it to go on Disney Plus. But also too, I feel like this movie should have just been direct to Disney Plus, because being that it's now #1 on Disney Plus for several weeks now, I feel like it would have garnered more in the streaming platform, where I feel like by them releasing it in theaters, it made them lose money. So if they would have just put it on Disney Plus, I think it would have been fine. But I completely agree with you, Kevin. It didn't deserve the backlash that it did. Does it have its issues? Absolutely. Do I feel like it's the worst live action? Worse may be like kind of a harsh word to kind of put it, but it's definitely on the lower end of the live actions. But as I said, it's just an okay movie, you know. Let's see. Kevin Davis also says Pixar will bounce back at the box office with Toy Story 5. Yeah, I really don't know how Elio is going to do, but see, I don't want to say too much because I want you guys to watch my out of theater reaction, which it will be released either tonight on Citrico Central or tomorrow morning. So if you're not subscribed to Citrico Central, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll get notified with anything that is released when it comes to my live streams here, my live streams in the parks, any video content that's going up. Definitely be on the lookout for it. But yeah, my out of theater reaction to Elio will be up either tonight or tomorrow morning, because you guys are actually going to get a double out of theater reaction, being that Abby didn't get to see Elio last night because she ended up falling asleep. Not because the movie was bad, but just, you know, long hours at work. It just takes a toll on you, and she ended up falling asleep. So we're going to go again tonight, you know, after she's all rested and everything. And we all have a good friend also joining us as well. I won't say who the person is because I don't know if they wanted to be kind of out, you know, there, but yeah, she'll be joining us as well. Let's see. Oh, but really quick, but Kevin Davis, Toy Story 5. Yeah, Toy Story 5 and Incredibles 3 will definitely pretty much like guarantee that box office success. We got Trey Porter in the house. What's up, bro? What's up, Trey? I'm so glad you're able to join. And honestly, as OG had said as well, whenever you're down here in the area, please hit us both up. Would love to hang out with you. It would always be a good time. And my Aunt Judy said, that's perfect. I love that proposal. Yeah, my proposal was like kind of short, kind of sweet, but it was like that kind of quirky, romantic kind of thing for it. Yeah, as it says, our family is huge. Yes, we have a huge Italian family. I got family that I never even met. You know, it's like I could be bumping into them, and it's like, you're Italian? Yeah, I'm Italian. Oh, yeah, I'm related to this person, to that person. Oh, yeah, I'm related to that same person. You know, it's something. We got Orange Grove 55 in the house. What's up, everyone? What's up, OG? And is that Trey Porter? What's up, man? Yeah, Trey Porter is in the house. And Aunt Judy saying hello to Angel. Hi, my beautiful niece. As I said, we're keeping it in the family here. Let's see. Sam Chat says, have you picked a wedding venue? Yes, we have one in mind. I don't know the name of it per se. Abby knows the name of it. Abs, if you're still in the chat, if you could put the possible venue that we're looking at. But also, too, a lot of you are actually on our wedding list, believe it or not. We just, obviously, you know, once it gets a little bit closer, because we're still several years out, we will be making like official announcements, like reaching out to people, getting their addresses to send like for RSVPs and everything. But there is actually a lot of you that are part of like the chats of my channel, Citrico Central and Orange Grove 55, that you actually are invited to the wedding. So just wanted to throw that out there. Let's see. Lene Ward says, would people really be that upset if they bulldoze Tomorrowland? I don't think so. I don't think people would. I mean, they might have an issue if they touch Space Mountain and Matterhorn. Now, I know Matterhorn has been going through the ringer. It's still down for refurbishment. I don't even know when it's going to come back up, but I mean, I think people would have issues with those two. Everything else, I don't think people would really have an issue with. And Dead Short Overkill says, hey, Orange Grove 55, you are the GOAT. He really is. I gotta give it to my bro, OG, because honestly, without him, I wouldn't even be doing what I'm doing here now, like even with my own channel. I love still being a part and collaborating on Orange Grove 55, and then extending what I've learned from being on his channel, just like with the StreamYard and sharing of the screen. There's still things that he's still showing me and teaching me as I'm going through the journey of doing this with the channel and everything. But yeah, if it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for his channel graciously accepting me to be part of it, this wouldn't all be. So if I had a hat, but hats off to you, bro. Let's see. Trey Porter. Let's see. Younger people wouldn't mind if Tomorrowland was transformed. Yeah, I agree with you. I think the younger generation wouldn't understand it. I think it would just be the people who have like that rich nostalgia behind it. But I still think for how people are like begging and wanting a Tomorrowland, like a new Tomorrowland, as long as they don't touch Matterhorn and Space Mountain, I think honestly, people really wouldn't mind. Trey Porter also continues, it's us older fans that don't want it to go, but even as a 41-year-old, I wouldn't mind as this pointing to a new Tomorrowland. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let's see. Dragon Blood says, I'm glad they gave us an update about Villains Land and what it will have, despite not showing what the attraction, shops, entertainment, and dining is. Betting either Destination D or D23 2026. Absolutely. I'm right there with you, Dragon Blood. I feel like that they're going to give us a little bit more at Destination D23 late August, early September. But I think everything is going to be fleshed out like in explicit detail at D23 2026, because we talked about this on, I think it was an Orange Grove 55 live, that there's not going to be like huge announcements during D23 2026 as like with new projects, because there's a lot of projects going on right now already. So they're going to want to update us with all that. So what better way to do it than to release all the villains stuff, because they're going to have to fill in the gaps. But I think they'll start us off, with a nice kind of like teaser kind of thing at Destination D23. Absolutely. Let's see. My Aunt Judy says, you're welcome. I love you so much and miss you. I'm so proud of you and your knowledge. I knew you're always a very smart man. Well, thank you so much, Aunt Judy. Love and miss you too. And yeah, this is my wheelhouse. This is like literally like the research, the history, the reporting. Like this is my wheelhouse. Dragon Blood says, not to mention they did the same for the new Zootopia show and Muppets Rock and Roller Coaster. I have talked about this, and Drew the Disney did too on Instagram. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think even like we might even get like an opening date for Muppets Rock and Roller Coaster and Zootopia. Yeah, probably at Destination D23, because those are some things that are like small, but I think that'll like, that'll be part for Destination D. Absolutely. Remy D. There's a new Villains Land update. Yeah, sort of. I went over it earlier. I'll read it again, just in case if you weren't here. But it says, Walt Disney World has officially released a new synopsis for Villains Land coming to Magic Kingdom. Prepare for spellbinding thrills and wickedly entertaining experiences as Walt Disney World unveils Villains Land at Magic Kingdom Park, bringing iconic Disney villains to life like never before. This bold new park expansion will feature 2 major attractions, dining and shopping on an incredibly twisted grand scale. And then it says, we still don't know an opening date or even an opening year, but updates are always welcome. So yeah, so it's kind of subtle, but like you can kind of get like a gist of like roughly what Disney's going for with it. Yeah, as Dragonblood says, yeah, it's mainly like, hey, we will have 2 attractions, major shopping, dining, and entertainment, kind of thing. Yeah. Which I'm happy to let us know it's still coming. Yeah, even if it's small things, just keep us up to date, like that Disney is still interested in doing this, Let's see. Lene Ward. So people with severe allergies would be taken care of super well on a cruise. Absolutely, Lene. Like if you have any food allergy restrictions or maybe like even detergents or anything, you just let housekeeping and your wait staff know. They will accommodate you to above and beyond. And also too, wanted to make this very clear with the dining. Say there's 2 entrees you can't decide upon. You're like, I don't know if I want the rack of lamb or if I want the roasted chicken. You can order both. You can order absolutely everything off the menu. There's no extra upcharge, nothing. Soft drinks, all included. Same thing with the desserts, appetizers, starters, whatever you call. If you want all the desserts, you want to try 2 desserts. If you want something like, for instance, during Pirate Night, because they usually do Pirate Night every cruise to the Bahamas and Caribbean, or Caribbean, potato, tomato, that there's a specific dish I get every single time during Pirate Night, and it's called Captain Jack's Treasure of the Seas, and it's this seafood pasta, and it's made with like a lobster sauce, and it has spinach, it has scallops, it has shrimp. It's like, oh man, it's one of my favorite things. And they top it off with a little Parmesan cheese. There's times where it's so good, I order another bowl. So I got 2 the last time that we went on. So just wanted to make you aware of that as well. There's really no restrictions when it comes to food. Also, they provide room service to your stateroom, which is included. The only thing, it's very nice just to tip the person delivering it to you, which you can have it added to your stateroom credit, for them to, charge you through the stateroom, and it'll charge you at the end of the cruise. But yeah, if you're up like late at night, like around midnight, and you say, you know what, I can go for a little midnight snack, you can order snacks, dessert, late night dinner. It's all included. The only thing that's not included with food, as I said, is like the specialty desserts, popcorn for some reason. But I think the reason why is because I think Disney uses a third-party source when it comes to like the popcorn for like the theaters and the movie theaters and the Broadway theaters. So yeah, it's an extra charge for popcorn, specialty desserts, specialty drinks, alcohol. And then also if you're going to dine at Palo or Remy, those are separate as well because they're more upscale signature restaurants. Let's see. Remy D. I really enjoyed the Star Wars themed bar on the Disney Wish. Didn't know it existed, but pleasant surprise. I think it was adult only as well. Yes, the Star Wars bar was absolutely. I think like when it's docked, like when the bar is not open, you can kind of show your kids in there, like just to kind of give them the look. But as far as like when it's operated, yeah, it's adult exclusive. And the same goes for the Haunted Mansion bar. And they're also going to have a 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea bar on the Treasure as well. So yeah, a lot of themed areas for sure. The only issue with the Star Wars one is it's a little bit small, so the capacity is kind of short. But Disney kind of outdid themselves, like with the Haunted Mansion and 20,000 Leagues, so they definitely like expanded it out for sure. Let's see, Remy D. I agree. Snow White is very average, or as the cool kids say, mid. All the hate from Snow White was just from the grifters and people making fun of Rachel's comments. Absolutely. That's all it was when it comes down to it. Sam Chat, in my opinion, the Pinocchio remake was the worst remake ever. I wanted to see him become a real boy. That plot point of Geppetto accepting him for who he is came out of nowhere. Okay, I stand corrected, Sam Chat. Yes, you are correct. I actually would prefer Snow White over Pinocchio, believe it or not. I do agree with you. I would have loved to see him like reach his goal as to why he was even going on this journey in the first place, was to become a real boy. So yeah, I definitely agree. Very much agree. Dragon Blood, like I'm predicting, Elio's probably going to be a situation where it'll do better on Disney Plus, in my opinion. I'm really excited to watch it soon. Yeah, I do hope people go see it in theaters, but I can kind of agree with you. I think people would just be waiting to watch it on Disney Plus for them to give their overall assumption. But I have issues with that because then you have people online that complain and moan and groan about why isn't Disney and Pixar making original movies? Well, Elio's an original movie, so give it a chance, But when Toy Story 5 comes out and Incredibles 3 come out, everyone flocks to the theater. Why? Because they're so used and adjusted to be comfortable that it's going to be a hit. But then after they come out of the theater and they say, oh, well, why did we even need that? Well, you're the one going to it, so you're giving Disney your money. So if it's getting them to hit the quota, they're going to keep making what they're making. So if you go and see these original movies, maybe Disney and Pixar would be more comfortable with making more original movies. So just saying. Let's see. Dead Short Overkill. Universal Studios Great Britain is coming soon at Bedfordshire, UK. What your thoughts about it? Citrico Central. So for me, I'm very excited. I mean, eventually I'd like to make it over there when it's fully completed. I know that, they haven't really made a full-on announcement of, what is greenlit there, but we have speculation that it, we talked about it on Orange Grove 55 and a few other neighboring channels as well. Theme Park Conductor, Theme Park Wizard. We all discussed this where Jared, Capture the Magic, we talked about it as well, that there could possibly be a Back to the Future roller coaster, and I'd be all for it. Really looking forward to the Fast and the Furious Hollywood Drift here at Universal Studios Hollywood. Also, the possibility of a Ghostbusters roller coaster coming to the studios in Florida. So it'd be fitting that, to see Back to the Future make a comeback and in the UK for sure. But yeah, and all in all, I'm very much looking forward to it. Hopefully, I can get out there, when it all opens and, kind of report on it and see it. That'd be really cool. Let's see. And Abby confirms it's Quiet Canyon in Montebello. That is the site that we're looking at for the wedding, because we're gonna kind of probably do everything together there. I think the ceremony, the reception, all that good stuff. And again, it will be Disney themed. We're not going to give any teasers out yet of what we have planned, but I think it's going to be very special, for all of you that have the chance to be able to come, that gets invited, or when we have the live stream, for all of you who can't make it. I think you'll probably enjoy the decor, especially if you're a diehard Disney fan. Now, of course, it's going to be subtle, elegant. It's not going to be all in your face. And that's another thing about Disney Cruise Line that a lot of people think, that when it's Disney, you think it's all in your face. And it's like, no, it's done very eloquently. It's done with taste. It's done with style. So definitely want to throw that in there. But we actually have someone here.
Hi, guys.
And really quick before we move on, while you're here, because I had mentioned it, because we were talking about the Disney cruise.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. So here's the little rundown with that. While we were on the ship, because we've talked about it where, Abby's been on many cruises before.
Yes, I've been on a lot of cruises growing up. I went on a Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Princess, and Norwegian.
So she's like, so even though that I've been on 10 Disney cruises, she's done a variety, but she's never done Disney. So I thought, okay, she's a pro at this. She knows like what's going on and everything. Well, fast forward, we're on the ship where they got everybody on, we're eating, and she said, I hope I don't get sick. And I said, what do you mean? And I said, oh, you get a little seasick. She said, oh no, I get like sick. There's like times where where I like am like just down and out for the con. I'm in the stateroom. I couldn't even eat dinner, and I'm like, oh, was it like a certain cruise line? She said, no, it was
every
all of
single
them.
one.
And I'm like, oh, that's just great. Like, perfect, babe. Thanks for telling me after the fact we're on here. But I'm thinking like, oh dear God, how is this going to go? But long story short, she was okay.
Yeah.
There were certain instances. I think she feels it more when we're on the upper decks. Anytime that we're in cabanas, the buffet area, that's where she felt it. She felt a little bit like in the pool area, except when we were laying out on the pool chairs. I tell you what, we fell asleep.
I think because we were docked that day.
Were we?
Yeah, it was we did a sea day, but it was everyone was on.
They went to Nassau. Okay, well, let's scratch that then. But anyway, we actually fell asleep on the pool chairs. That's how comfortable they were.
Mm-hmm.
But then it started raining. So we went inside, and that's another beauty thing of doing a cruise, that if it is raining, the ship ends up moving away from the storm. But while it is still raining, there's plenty to do inside. You could do practically, it will never hinder your vacation. So
yes, I loved the cruise portion of our vacation.
Yes. Dragon Blood. For Disney live actions in general, I love the Maleficent films, the Pete's Dragon remake. I like the Jungle Book one as well, and Lilo and Stitch. Yeah, Lilo and Stitch.
I love that movie.
Love that movie. The How to Train Your Dragon. Absolutely love that movie. I do agree with you, Dragon Blood. Love the Jungle Book. Actually, the Jungle Book was my favorite live action until Lilo and Stitch. Now, if I had to pick between Lilo and Stitch and How to Train Your Dragon, oh man, I caught myself with that question. I don't know. I might have to come back to you on that one. Pete's Dragon, I loved. I did love the remake, and I'm glad it was completely different. It wasn't a musical. I love it was a little bit more dramatic. But I like that. That was really cool. And I love the first Maleficent. I didn't really care for Mistress of Evil. That's just me, but I love the first one. Dragon Blood continues. Also, I'm so tired of people online comparing live action How to Train Your Dragon to the Disney live actions. Yeah, that is true. Like, let Disney's live actions be Disney's live actions. Let DreamWorks and Universal be their, you can't compare to say, what. But as I said, was How to Train Your Dragon magnificent as a live action? Absolutely. Absolutely. Remy D, have you been on Tron? If so, thoughts? I haven't ridden it, but it being only 60 seconds long seems very disappointing. That's the only thing with Tron. I just feel like it's a little bit short.
I liked it.
She did. You guys should see the photo, because they take your photo when you're shooting off, like literally out.
I look terrified.
But
I look absolutely terrified. But
yeah,
I liked it.
Yes, it was fun. Yeah, I just wish that it was a little bit longer. Now, a lot of people were saying online too that the Monsters Inc. door coaster would be the same length as Tron. I seriously doubt that. I can't foresee them creating this immersive roller coaster, especially how they load you. And it's going to be 60 seconds. How can you fit a whole entire storyline in 60 seconds? It works for Tron because there's really no storyline. It's you're entering the grid and you're racing. That's it. There's no storyline to it. With Monsters Inc. And especially the fact that they had to get rid of Muppets 3D for this, Disney's not going to give us a 60-second roller coaster. I can tell you that much. Dead Short Overkill says, I'm voting for a Universal Cruise Line at Bedfordshire, UK to be constructed by 2035. Announcement. That would be interesting. I think I think Universal could pull something like that off. I don't know how well it would do for like the onboard ship activities. Not saying that they couldn't do it, but there were talks like if they had their own private island and create Jurassic Park,
That would be cool.
that literally you get off and you have like an expedited adventure that you have to look for dinos and try to stay alive, not get eaten, kind of thing. That would be a cool excursion. I think that'd be really cool. Dragon Blood. One thing I want to see for the Villains Land attractions is safety videos with Kronk and Yzma. It fits so well. that would be funny. Now, the thing with Yzma and Kronk, and along with Captain Hook and Cruella de Vil, the only thing with them is they're very cartoony. They're very slapstick, which that's not a bad thing. But for the Villains Land, I want to see the dark vibes. And I think this is where Unfairly Ever After failed in that sense. They picked two, I don't want to say weak villains, because Cruella and Captain Hook aren't weak, but I want to see like the dark, rigid characters, you know? So, but I do think that would be funny, Dragon Blood, to use Yzma and Kronk for like the safety kind of thing. That would be funny. That's how you can utilize them. And we got Brian in the house. Hey, George. How did you like Elio? I'm still waiting for your top 10 video. Does Elio go in there? Okay, so yes, Brian, I am still going to do that video. Do not worry. I'm doing that video. I'm still thinking about it because the fact that like it's not just like Disney animation, it's not just Pixar, it's like combining Disney animation, Pixar, Disney live action, Marvel, Star Wars, all into one. So I really want to give you an accurate list. For Elio, I'm not going to give really too much detail on it. I do have a video that's going to be releasing either tonight or tomorrow morning on Citrico. You guys are going to get a double out of theater reaction from last night and tonight. It's all going to be on one video though. So you'll get to know a little bit more. And then after I release that, then I can get more into talking about it. Being that I did see Elio, I will take that into consideration about the top 10. I'm not 100% sure until I weigh everything in. But yes, Brian, don't worry. I haven't forgot about you with that video. I think it's a really good concept. But yes, I am definitely still going to do that video. Dragon Blood. One thing I'd like to see for Destination D23 this year, Tomorrow shows us a teaser trailer of the land with the attractions, shopping and dining, plus the entertainment, like glimpses pretty much. Yeah, I think that would be the way that they would do it. Again, like a teaser kind of thing, kind of build us up there. Yeah. See, my Aunt Judy says, I heard so many great things about cruises. They are really thorough with their issues. Health and safety is extremely important to them. I love that about cruises. Absolutely. That's another thing too. Like anytime you go to any dining location, they either have stationary sinks where you wash your hands before you go into the buffet. You are required to wash your hands before you go into the buffet area. That I absolutely love. Before you go into the main dining area, they give
the sanitary
wipes to sanitize your hands. So I love that. I love that because, and that's not even just Disney wanting to be healthy and clean, but again, there's a lot more to cruise lines that they go through that they have to keep up a certain standard. Otherwise they can get in really bad trouble, pay fines, be grounded, you know, and Disney's not going to want that. I don't think any cruise line would want that, but Carnival, man. That's it. That's all I have to say.
But I did see you asked about the allergies, and they are very thorough with their allergies because I have food allergies, and I just had to tell them the one time for the first dinner, and then it went along the whole cruise because even times that we went to go eat for lunch, they just made sure and checked with the chef if I'm allowed to eat it. Just in case. So.
Yes. Like they even checked on the bread. Like they're like, don't eat nothing yet. Because this was also a wait staff because we did the lunch. And so you have three options. Well, actually, you have 4. Um, you could either do room service for lunch. You can go up to the upper decks. They have like a pizza station. They have a shawarma section. They have a burger section, tacos. They have the buffet, or you can have a sit down lunch in the restaurants. Now, the thing is, when you do that, you don't get your everyday servers. It's the day servers that are there, so they don't know about you. So they're literally learning about you just with one server. So when Abby said about her allergies, they're like, "Oh my gosh, like we got to make sure, don't touch the bread, you know." We got to check the sauce in this. We got to make sure the add-ons for the. So it was really sweet of them that they did that, but it was kind of funny. Let's see, Dead Short Overkill. Lord of the Rings, Ministry of Magic for Universal Studios, Great Britain, is coming soon. What are your thoughts about it, Citrico? I'm not sure if Ministry of Magic is going in. I know there's talks that Lord of the Rings is. I've been wanting Lord of the Rings over here, so I mean, of course, just because I want it over here, it's going over there. But
Yeah.
But I could see how it could fit in with the genre and everything. So we'll have to wait and see. Let's see, Remy D. If Villains Land has a major indoor dark ride and an outdoor coaster, you know people will compare it to Dark Universe. You know, it's funny you say that, Remy D, because see, Disney should learn from all the complaints people have with DU. You know, it's funny. I've already compared it. And I said, I wonder if it's going to be like the Dark Universe, like Darkmoor, where you have this really in-depth, very intricate dark ride, and then you have a outdoor roller coaster. And the problem I am having with that, and I do agree with you, and I said it for Universal, so I will be fair to say it for Disney. If you're going to give us a really in-depth themed land, to have a roller coaster intertwining throughout the, it throws you out of that mentality. So if they want to do a roller coaster, fine. Put it indoors. Put a nice building, a facade, make it look like a dark village kind of thing. Do something like that. Or if you just have maybe like a piece of the track where it's like coming out, circling, and going back in, fine, that's fine. But when you have a whole entire track dedicated to outdoors, if you're seeing it, that I have a problem with. Let's see. Dragon Blood. I got to get on with you, OG, and Webba. That would be a great talk. Absolutely. We will definitely have you back on Dragon Blood for sure. Let's see. Oh, I missed someone. Here we go. We got Ryan McKinney in the house. Let's see. Hey, everybody. My name is Ryan. I am ready to big party at the Disney cruise and good memories. Yes, absolutely, Ryan. And I'm still waiting on which ship you're going on. I want to know, man. Tell me. I want the details. Come on. I want the name of the ship. I want how many nights, your destination. Like, come on, man. I'm curious. I'm curious, George. The Italiano. Let's see. Dragon Blood responding to Remy D. Absolutely. With all the replacing of Tom Sawyer Island and Rivers of America, they'll have to deliver no matter what. I want Zolt to do the rock work. I hope I spelt the name right. I'm for sure you spelt it right. I don't know if I pronounced it right. Because I've met him at D23. Absolutely nice guy. Had a perfect oh, there we go. Sorry, folks. Little okay, hold on. I'm switching back over here. Okay. Sorry, guys. Yeah, had a little hiccup, but we're good. I think we're good. You guys see me? Hear me? Let me know. Um, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I had a great conversation with him um about kind of hinting like, are you gonna do cars? Are you gonna do villains? And he was saying like, okay, I'm just finishing up this project, but I think they have me going into other projects, and I'm like in my head saying, okay, I think he's on board with this for sure. Let's see. Let's see. Ryan McKinney. Let's see. I will have a wonderful trip in Disney cruise vacation. Have great. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So glad for you, Ryan, honestly. But again, man, tell me the ship. I want to know the ship. Let's see. Dragon Blood. People ask for original films, but they don't go to watch it. Absolutely. Let's see. Dragon Blood. I'm always questioning the film geeks and theme park enthusiasts and fans. What do you want? Pick a lane. Absolutely. And I'm sorry, Dragon Blood. I have to do this correctly, especially because I'm Italian. I use my hands a lot. What do you want? There we go. I'm sure that's what you were probably getting at too. Brian, very true. Money talks. If sequels and live action brings the money and originals, don't the businesses has a duty to follow the money for survival? Yeah, absolutely. Trey Porter. Back in the day, the House of Blues with the spot for adults to go chill after a long day at the park. What would you say is the spot to go chill at as an adult here in 2025? As far as like in the parks go, at Disneyland, one of my favorite spots is in downtown Disney is what's the restaurant called?
Which one?
The one that we went to for the meetup. I'm drawing a blank.
Naples?
Naples. Yeah. I don't know why. I knew it was one word, but I couldn't remember. It is Naples. I love hanging out there, especially also to another great hangout. Now, this is actually in the park, is at Lamplight Lounge, but I love going to the outdoor boardwalk area. Now, as far as Disney World goes, one of my favorite spots that I love to hang out in is the boardwalk. I absolutely love the boardwalk, and I know what you're thinking. It is not that. There's a run-on joke there, people.
Of course you love the boardwalk.
Yes, I can't like go into details about that, but I love going there like early in the evening and watching the sunset. And I love like the full circle walk that you could do for like to the beach club, to the yacht club, to Swan and Dolphin. And there's also a secret walking path that leads you to Epcot and Hollywood Studios. So I love that area.
Sure you do.
I do, but not what you're thinking about. Let's see. Let's see. I'm going to keep going here because we got a little bit of a hard out here for our movie, but we still got some time. Let's see. Ryan says, I can't wait to take a lot of pictures of videos of the cruise. I'm all ready for the good. I absolutely definitely take those pictures and everything. But again, man, I want to know the ship. Is it the fantasy? Is it the dream? Is it the wish? Dude, you're killing me here. Let's see. Let's see. Lene Ward. I'm sold on the cruise for the attention to food allergies they have. Honestly, Lene, you're going to be getting a lot of attention just all the way around. They literally pamper you. And anything that you need, anything that you want, any accommodations, recommendations, they literally hold your hand all the way through. It really feels like like a true vacation. And Remy D says, love the movie, but the worst part of How to Train Your Dragon live action is Nico Parker, who plays Astrid. She was in The Last of Us, but she is very emotionless here. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit here. So Nico Parker, and I'll tell you why. Now, I do think she did a little bit better compared to the movie that I'm going to announce, but I do think she does need extensive acting training. I don't know if she has an acting coach, but she needs to work on the facial expressions. And you know how I knew who she was? And I know, Remy D, that you said for The Last of Us, but that's not where I knew her from. Where I knew her from, let's go all the way back to 2019, I think it was. She is the young girl in Tim Burton's live action Dumbo. Now, when I first watched that movie, I thought, why in the world did he hire both these kids? They are emotionless. And it's funny that you use that term, Remy D, because that's who she is. She was the young girl in Dumbo. And even 6 years later, they have to. Now, again, it doesn't go by the appearance that a lot of people are saying aesthetically. You know, she's not blonde. She's not blue-eyed. That I can care less. I think if you just deliver, you know, then that's fine. But her as an actress, not as a person, I'm for sure she's a very sweet girl, but she needs to work on facial expressions. Like she needs to work on the dramatic emotions. Like you can't just have like a stoic, look, I'm happy. Look, I'm sad. Like you have to put like emotion to it, you know. But as I said, her playing Astrid, I don't have a problem with, but she does need a little bit of help. Not saying that she can't do it, because she did make a little bit of a comeback with it. I think she did much better than what she did with Dumbo, but she's still not there yet for me as a professional actress. Let's see. Lene Ward says, I've heard Disney in Tokyo isn't as allergy friendly as other Disney destinations / cruises, but apparently you can bring your own food instead of them accommodating the allergies. That's interesting. Okay, so I guess maybe, yeah, they're just like not accustomed to doing that, but they'll allow you to bring your own food. But if you're going to do that, it's like, do you really want to do that? You know?
Yeah.
Let's see. Sam chat. Okay, perfect. So you're saying, I see. Okay. That was for like the disconnection. Yeah. The stream was the stream has thawed, no longer frozen. And for all of you who are worrying about it, just let it go. Let's see. Dragon Blood heading off to see Elio. Exciting. Though I'll watch the stream since I take the bus transport. Awesome. Yeah, watch until we're finished here. I know you'll enjoy the movie Dragon Blood. We'll actually be heading out fairly soon as well. So, Orange Grove, I got a jet. Have fun at the movies tonight, guys, and talk to you later. He's got a Joan Jett. And for all of you who don't know who Joan Jett is, rock, 1980s. Okay. Let's see. Dead Short Overkill is voting for Disney Wish for the cruise line. Okay. Yeah, I would say. See, for me, the Wish is kind of like, dare I say, like the weakest out of all of them as far as like, but it is going to be going in the dry dock soon. So they're going to be doing a lot of updates and stuff. But I would say go on the Wish first, because if you go on any of the other ships and then you do the Wish, you might be a little disappointed. Not in the service. I'm talking about like how everything is kind of like designed, you know, but they did get better. I heard with the Treasure and also with the Destiny. So you learn, you know, and I think that's why that they're going to update the Wish as well. And then Sam Chat says, honestly, I'm pretty pumped for Toy Story 5. It's being directed by Andrew Stanton. Yes, here's the thing. Here's why I'm pumped for Toy Story 5. for how much that the shit show that they gave us with Toy Story 4. That's why I'm excited for Toy Story 5, because they need a comeback. I don't even think they even needed Toy Story 4. They should have just left it at Toy Story 3, but they gave us Toy Story 4. But that's why I feel like they need to give us Toy Story 5, because they need to make a comeback and end it here. End it. But a lot of people saying that they're not going to. They said that they may end it with a Toy Story 6 because it's kind of like a 2-set trilogy. So it's like 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. But we'll see. The villain in Toy Story 5 they announced is technology, and it's like a gamey pad, lily pad. So it looks like a very cutesy kind of technological toy, but I bet you she's going to be very ruthless and very manipulative and very evil, you know? So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so we'll see. And I hope it makes a full circle where Andy like gets the toys back or something, or at least Woody. You know, the fact that Bonnie rejected him, like Andy gave that his favorite toy to her, and she just throws him like he's a piece of dirt and plays with a freaking plastic spork. Like, what the hell's the matter with you? So I say, screw Bonnie. Let her keep all the other toys. Woody, you make it back to Andy. Hopefully Andy has a kid. And, and you know, that could be Woody and Bo Peep's happy ending, and just say, you know, screw Bonnie, screw the other toys. Let them get put in a toy box while she's playing with Lily Pad. Yes, for a spork. That's exactly it. A genuine, authentic Woody cowboy doll that could have been in a museum that's worth a lot of money and a prized possession to Andy gets outbeaten by a spork. Think about that. Think about that, folks. Let's start all the way. Let's start. Oh yeah, we're going here, man. I'm gonna rip this to shreds here. This is what. Let's go all the way back to Toy Story 1. Woody, Andy's favorite toy, and then he gets excited about a brand new toy, Buzz Lightyear. Woody feels like he's being replaced. He's not loved, but he realized that he is still loved by Andy in the end. Number 2, has his arm ripped, thinking Andy's not going to want with him, gets stolen at a yard sale, gets fixed up, about to be sold to a Japanese toy company. Big time. He's more popular authentically and originality and expensively than any Buzz Lightyear toy. But he makes it to go back to Andy. And then later on in many years, Andy was willing to take Woody to college with him. But no, he decides that to give this to this ungrateful little brat that is dying to want these toys. And she literally plays with everything but Woody. And she goes and creates this weird ass, fugly looking little spork. And that's what you take as a toy to replace with Woody. She needs grounded. So there's my rant, folks. Do I still love the first 3 films? Absolutely. Do I watch Toy Story 4? I only saw it once and it was in theaters. That was it. Never had a desire to watch it again. But I'm very curious about Toy Story 5. Yes. George getting spicy today.
Yes.
Spicy Italiano. Yep. See, Sam chat. At least the spork has those creepy googly eyes. Yes, I guess so. Well, tell us how you really feel, George. Oh my gosh, that's great. Well, for my hour and a half, folks, for joining this live, thank you so much for joining. Again, love your questions, love your comments, opinions, concerns, ideas. We definitely have a lot on the horizon with Citrico Central. We have more bar chats, more walk and talks, more dining reviews, more specialty fun. We're also going to have a fun live in the park, and it's you guys, it's your job. You have to go find Abby. So we're going to start off the live. Abby's not going to be with us. And there's going to be hints and clues as to where she is at Disneyland. And you have to figure out where she's at. And we're going to walk around and try to figure out where the clues are of where she is hiding. So definitely look out for that. So we're actually titling that live, Where's Abby? So if you want to partake in that, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll get notified. So Remedy, yeah, we're probably going to do two. We're going to do one at Disneyland Park, and we'll do one in DCA. So when we're in Disneyland, it's just in Disneyland. And then when we're in DCA, it's just DCA. And then Ryan says, hey guys, my favorite Disney cruise ship is the Disney Dream or Wish. Okay, so you're still deciding either like the Dream or the Wish. Okay, cool. And Remy D says, have fun at the movie, guys. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Oh, you get to watch it this time.
She actually gets to watch it this time. And then also, too, really quick, got to do my plug-in. I'm an affiliate of the Magic Candle Company. If you would like to bring a little bit of Disney into your very own home, they have Magic Candle Company has everything you could possibly imagine, from candles, oils, sprays, soaps, anything to bring the magic into your house. They have it. They can deliver. Use my promo code Citrico15 upon checkout. You'll get 15% off. And that's not just a one-time deal. Any purchases you do through Magic Candle Company, if you use my promo code, you'll get 15% off every single time. And when you do, if you reach out to us on social media, primarily on Instagram, if you give us your shipping details, we'll ship out to you a keychain and a sticker for Citrico Central as a thank you to say you used my promo code for Magic Candle Company as part of Citrico Central. So just wanted to throw that in there. And really quick, hello, Mr. Tech Bear. Thank you for jumping on. So glad to see you. Kev is, we definitely want to hang out with you more, Kev. We'll definitely have to make some time to do that. And Sam Chat, fun live stream. Have a great night, y'all. Yes, absolutely. Thank everyone for coming in. Sam Chat, Mr. Tech Bear, Remy D, Ryan, Dragon Blood, Sam Chat, Mademoiselle, Dead Short Overkill, Giant Panda, the Giant Peter Show. Sorry, I almost said the Giant Panda Show. Orange Grove 55, Lene Ward. We have, let's see, Mr. Trey Porter, my Aunt Judy, my cousin Angel, Brian. And Brian, as I said, don't worry. I will be making that video, brother. Don't worry about it. You will be getting it. Of course, my lovely Abby, that she was in the chat and also here live.
Yes.
She's got the best of both worlds. Let's see. Am I missing anybody? Jacob Weller, Kevin Davis, Coco Bear, Candid Camper, and I think that is it, folks. So again, I want to thank you all for joining us today. I greatly appreciate it. I love doing these lives with you. I love the interaction. I love the fun times. I love the questions, the comments, the opinions, the concerns, all that good jazz. As I say in Disney Italiano fashion, stay safe, stay healthy, stay Disney. Italiano out.